Hey, what's going on, y'all? Big Sarge here, host of the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show daily on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe at Big Sarge Media. All right, listen, they're not going to all look good. They're not going to all be pretty. They're not going to all be the kind of victories that most fans want to see. But when you look at the win and loss columns, it doesn't say barely won, barely lost, blowout win, blowout loss. It only counts the wins and the losses. And on Sunday night on primetime television, the Houston Texans defeated the Chicago Bears by a score of 19-13. Now, it was not pretty. It was not pretty. There was a lot of mistakes made by the Houston Texans. They had 12 penalties for 115 yards. It didn't seem like they could gain any traction or any momentum against that Chicago Bears defense. But when they needed it, when it counted, when they needed it the most, they pulled through, especially kicker Kaimi Fairbairn, who, listen, here's a guy that's almost becoming automatic. And the one thing that hasn't been talked about enough, especially going into this season, is that when you look at the Harrison Butkers and the other kickers around the NFL who gets a lot of praise and glory because of what they do, all Kaimi Fairbairn does is come to work and does his job. Head coach D'Amico Ryan said that they don't even win the last 2 weeks without Kaimi Fairbairn, who has kicked 6 field goals. And all those field goals have been from 50 plus. One thing that the Houston Texans defense did was make sure that Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick this past year, did not hurt them getting out of the pocket by beating them with his arms out of the pocket, beating them with his legs outside of the pocket. They kept him in the pocket so much that they pressured him 36 times. 17 of those came from Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter coming off the edge. They ended the game with 7 sacks and 2 interceptions, one by Derek Stingley, and rookie Kamari Lassiter finally got his first NFL career interception. And what I mean by finally is because he got one earlier in the game that was called back for a penalty. What the Houston Texans were able to do was they held the Chicago Bears to 205 total yards. Caleb Williams had 134 yards passing. And so, like I said, they're not going to all look good. They're not going to all be pretty. Yes, we would have liked to see that offense click a little bit more. We would have liked to see that offense score a little bit more as far as getting touchdowns. But, hey, a win is a win. The Houston Texans are now 2-0 as they head to Minnesota Vikings to take on another undefeated team next week in Minneapolis. Make sure you subscribe to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show on YouTube at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you are following me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Make sure you're reading all of my articles on www.bigsargemedia.com. I've officially been at NRG Stadium since yesterday. Big Sarge, I'm out.